Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video that was inspired by Beauty Lashes 19. She did a video talking about some of her Charlotte Tilbury hits and misses, and as I was watching it, I'm like, yeah, I love that. Oh, I haven't tried that. Oh, this is good. And I felt inspired to do a video for you guys where I'm talking to you about some of the products that I love and some of the things that stand out within her brand. I did not talk about anything that I didn't like because I don't purchase anything from her line that I'm not really in love with. So if you guys want to see what products I use and what my thoughts are, then let's go. Alright guys, so I'm going to start off with the Wonder Glow Instant Soft Focus Beauty Flash. I really love this product. It just gives you this beautiful soft glow to the skin, and I like to apply it with my hands. This does have a little bit of a fragrance. It almost smells like roses, like just very light scent. It's not really overpowering, but I love this because again, it gives you glow. It looks beautiful under makeup, and even on days where you don't want to wear makeup, this is just beautiful on the skin. I don't own any of the Charlotte Tilbury concealers. I personally am not a fan of the applicator, and it just doesn't interest me. I also feel like it's a product that I would blow through pretty quickly, so I'm just going to take my concealer and apply it under my eyes. I like to do my concealer under my eyes because this allows me to correct, and I feel like it just looks more natural. This I love. The Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I wear the shade 8. This is one of my favorite foundations, and I just love the finish. It's full coverage. You can definitely sheer it out, but it just looks beautiful on the skin. If you are a dry skin type, you'll want to use a heavier moisturizer. I'm going to take it's a half pump of the foundation, and I'm going to apply it with a sponge under my eyes, just here to smooth everything out. The other thing is this foundation is amazing because once it's set, it doesn't move. So being that I used a creamy concealer under my eyes, I want to make sure that I still get the same stain power. I'm going to take just a little bit more of the foundation, and I'm going to focus that on my cheeks, and I just did half a pump, but I want a little bit more coverage on my cheeks today because I've gotten some sun and I feel like I'm getting more sun damage, so I just want a little extra coverage here. But I love this foundation, guys. It's so beautiful. It wears all day, and it really does make skin look flawless. What I will tell you is that if you go overboard with this foundation, if you go into too many pumps, you are definitely going to look cakey. Whereas if you build lightly, this will look really beautiful. It'll look like skin. Now to set my face, I'm going to use the Magic Powder by Charlotte Tilbury. This comes in one shade, and it has a sifter, a stopper, which I really appreciate. So I'm just going to take what's sitting on top, and I'm just going to press this into the skin and buff. This is not the kind of powder that you use to bake. This powder will look very glowy if you apply a thick layer of it. If you are, I would say, if you are light or darker, you are going to be able to see this on your skin. So you really want to go in with a very thin amount and then buff it. Don't let it sit too long, but it is a very beautiful powder. Alright guys, so I went ahead and did my eyebrows and mascara, and now I'm going to take the Film Star Bronze and Glow palette. This was from last year's holiday collection. The packaging is stunning, And this came with one of her brushes. It's a mini size. And I have to say that I really love this product. I love the brush. And I think she does a really great job with her packaging. I think she does a beautiful job with her brushes, because I actually ended up buying a brush with a recent collection, which I'll show you guys. But I'm just taking this product and focusing it on the outer perimeter of my cheeks, and I'm going to take this and just run it along the jawline. As for the highlighter, this isn't a highlighter that I have really played much with because I feel like it's a little too light for my complexion, but I do have some highlighters that I'm going to talk about. The Bar of Gold palette, honestly, I never thought I was going to like this as much as I did, but as you guys can see, she's loved. I like to mix all 3 shades together and use that to highlight my face. And she also came out with this Magic Star highlighter during holidays 2019, and it's a beautiful gold. I love this so much. So for today, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna use. I think I'm gonna show you guys how to mix this, because this is pretty self-explanatory. You just jump in and take one shade, but I like to take all 3, and then I like to hit the high points of my face. This formula is so thin, and it really just gives you the most beautiful glow. It's very pigmented and intense, as you guys can see, but I love this so much. Such a great palette. Then there's the Glowgasm face palette. I have Lovegasm. I did purchase both, but ended up selling the lighter of the 2 because I felt like the shades were just too light for my complexion. So with that being said, I'm going to be using these 2 today as my blush because they are beautiful. This palette I would highly recommend for medium tan to deeper skin tones. And then for those of you that are fair, the lighter palette is the better option. Regardless, it's a beautiful palette. You're able to try a bronzer, highlighter, and blush with this palette because, as you guys can see, it has 4 products and a large mirror. This is one of my favorite Charlotte Tilbury products. But today we're just going to quickly jump into bronzer. This is her new bronzer, and I'm going to be using the shade medium today. I have medium and tan, and I'm using her brush. I love this brush so much. I loved it so much that I actually bought another one. And the second one I purchased so that I can carry in my purse with my powder. But I'll show you guys all of that in a minute. So I'm just taking this and I'm bronzing up my complexion. I thought I would be using tan more, but I'm really loving medium. And it's just so natural. It's such a great bronzer. I highly recommend it. I love it. It's, again, one of my favorite products. And I actually wanted bronzers when I started using this palette because, as you guys can see, this one has gotten a lot of love. The highlighter here is beautiful, but I haven't really played with it. I feel like the stars of the show are the blush colors and then the bronzer. I'm just going to take this and my lighting just changed. And I'm just pushing the blush onto my cheeks. And as you guys can see, like, these products literally just melt into the skin. I love them so much. Charlotte Tilbury does lip products beautifully. So I'm going to take Iconic Nude today to line my lips. And for my lipstick, I'm going to be using Dance Floor Princess, I think it's called. It's a beautiful nude pink. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this. I am now going to go into the Glowgasm palette and I'm going to take the bronzer shade and I'm just going to apply this on my lid because I feel like I need just a little bit of color. I'm just using a flat brush. This is by Zoeva, and it is the 222. I don't own any of these Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow palettes because I haven't really found anything that I felt was worth buying other than for packaging purposes. Like the holiday palette was beautiful. She also has one that has like the rose gold packaging that she uses in most of her products, or all of her products I should say, and they are beautiful for the packaging. In terms of like the actual color, I feel like they aren't anything I don't already have. So I'm just going to go in now with a fluffy brush and then just deepen the crease a little bit. I'm going to take that same flat brush and then run this under the lower part of my eye. I also don't own any Charlotte Tilbury mascaras. I did have one that I had gotten as a sample, and I love the effect that it gives on my lashes. Like, it gave me volume and it gave me length, but the problem was that it ended up on the lower part of my eye, and it was smudging and transferring, and there's so many great products that don't do that I felt like I could live without the mascara. I'm now going to go in with the highlighter shade, and I'm just going to place this in the inner corner, and then also take this right under the brow. All right, so the last product that I want to show you guys is the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. And like I told you guys, I purchased another brush specifically for this powder. And I'm just going to take this and I'm going to dust it in the center of my face. If you're wondering why I'm doing this, it's because this really does give you a beautiful airbrush finish, and I want to make sure that everything looks really smooth and beautiful. All right guys, so Charlotte Tilbury does not have a setting spray, and I don't own any of her eyeliners. I just went in with a brown gel liner and did a little bit of a wing. And I set my skin with a different setting spray, so I'm just going to take the powder and use a puff, and I like to just press this powder into my T-zone. Now if you're wondering, why did you powder your face, and then why did you then go in with the spray only to go in with the powder again? And my answer to you is this: I like my skin to look as smooth as possible, so I like to go in with the powder just so that I can see how everything is sitting. When I apply my setting spray, it's to lock everything in place, and right now the setting spray I'm using is actually doing a really great job at keeping my makeup in place. You know, if I'm sweating or if my face gets wet because it's raining or whatever, everything is staying in place. Now, I am normal combination skin, so I can be a little bit oily in the T-zone, which is why I like to go in and just remove the shine from the setting spray I use, and then just kind of clean everything up. This is the final look. I love the way that everything turned out, but I'm a huge fan of Charlotte Tilbury and her products, and I have to say that she is one of my favorite brands. I think she does a beautiful job at coming up with her products, and I think that you can definitely see the quality in her products. She may not be pushing out products, you know, monthly. She really thinks about what she's going to put out next, and I think that that's very visible in her product. Where you see a lot of releases is in her lip line, and obviously she's mastered her, you know, textures and her formulas, and all she's doing is just building up her color range. Let's quickly talk about my favorites. I would say that for sure her complexion products are some of my favorite products. Her Flawless Foundation, Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I highly recommend this to you guys. I think that if you're looking for something that is going to be long wearing, that doesn't feel heavy, that looks natural, that gives you coverage, it's fantastic. I love it. It's by far one of my favorites. Her airbrush powder, I love this stuff so much. I have backups of this. That's how much I love it. And to be honest with you guys, my preference is to use this with a sponge because it gives me a little bit more coverage, or a puff. So something like this, I get coverage. It just holds everything in place, and it really plays beautifully with any foundation and any skin type. So I really love this. What I would say is she has 3 shades in that, and I wish that she would expand so that there was something lighter than her light shade and that there were other shades darker than her 3rd shade. I feel like that works even as a bronzer for me. So it's not that deep, and while it doesn't deposit a ton of color, I would love to see her expand on this powder. Speaking of powder, I really like this. I would say that it's not a product that I pull for often because I do like to bake my makeup, and with this I find that if I bake my face with it, it ends up looking ashy. So I would either like to see her expand shades on this, because the translucent does leave a little bit of a white cast, which you can quickly fix by using a setting spray. But I would like to see either an expansion in this powder so that there are other shades, because I would like even a yellow. I'd be down with a yellow. But it is a beautiful powder. It does give your skin a luminous finish. Would I recommend this over other powders? I would say you can pass on this one. Get the pressed powder instead. Her highlighters are fantastic. As you guys see, they just kind of blend into the skin. You don't detect them. They're absolutely stunning. And I would say if you are darker than me, mixing this palette together is going to give you the best finish, because I find that the lighter shades, these 2 here on me, look a little too frosty, but when I mix all 3 of them together, it's just stunning. If you're looking for just a one-stop shop, I highly recommend getting this guy. You're getting the same beautiful gelée finish, and it's just absolutely stunning. It's just beautiful. If you are light, well, I would say fair to light, this might look a little too gold on you. If you like that, go for it. Her Film Star Bronze Glow Palette, I highly recommend this. I think it's really beautiful. The shade is fantastic if you're wanting just to contour. The highlighter is not a shade that I really love. If you have something that you already enjoy and you feel like this just wouldn't meet your needs, skip. But I really do love it, and I'm glad that I bought it. The other thing with this palette is that it only comes in 2 shades. This was her original shade, and then there is a darker one, but I find that the highlighter in that one is a little too dark for me, so I went with the lighter one. This palette, this is it. If you are somebody that doesn't have a ton of Charlotte Tilbury products and you're wanting to try out some of her items, I would say get this palette, because you're getting a bronzer, a highlighter, and 2 blush shades. Again, I think she might have discontinued this shade, which I'm not sure why she would do that, because what's left is the lighter of the 2. And I feel like those blushes looked a little frosty and ashy on my skin tone, which is why I didn't keep it. So I would hope that she's coming up with more palettes that have deeper shades in them, and that she hasn't discontinued this one, because this is really a beautiful palette. But if you are somebody that's wanting to try her formulas, get it. It's fantastic. Her bronzer. I love these bronzers so much. I have this one, which is medium, and I have tan. They are just beautiful, finely milled powders, and they just look stunning on the skin. You don't detect them. They're really like an airbrush finish, which is what she prides herself in. And you're getting so much product. It's fantastic. I love this stuff so much. Her lip products speak for themselves. Pillow Talk is her most popular shade. Kim KW is another one. I own a ton of her lipsticks. If you guys can see back there, that little mirrored stand has all of my Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. I love them. Her lip liners are stunning. They're smooth, they're creamy, they're long wearing. I have nothing bad to say about her lip products. They are fantastic. And lastly, her brushes. So I only have 2 of her brushes. I have her bronzing one, which I absolutely love. And honestly, I didn't think that I would want this brush. I felt that you would be able to make do with whatever brushes you have, and it's true, you can. But this is so soft. It blends out the bronzer beautifully. It just makes everything look really soft, blended, and natural, and I love it. And then this little guy came with her bronze, with her Film Star Bronze and Glow. And even though it's a little sample or a small size, it's such a good brush. It is so soft. It's done well. It deposits the color beautifully. It really just kind of helps chisel out your features. So I would be curious to try out more of her brushes. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I do have more products that I didn't talk about today, but I felt like I really wanted to showcase the things that really stood out to me and the things that, you know, make me love Charlotte Tilbury as a brand. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Please be sure to subscribe. Leave a comment down below letting me know what some of your favorite palettes are, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.